moments of unexpectedness, when you're just going about your day, to not forget that there's love, and that not only love in its most cliche sense, but it's real love, it's tangible love, and that is something that I can only tell you that's amazing. That's like something you see in the movies. But everybody, don't change that dial. Hang on right there. We're coming back with Lisa Hallett to talk about Where Blue Run, and talk more about John and real love and what it means to this world for our freedom. Don't change that dial. Hello, everybody. We're on commercial break, and Blue Run. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're on a quick commercial break. Just want to welcome everyone to the show. We are live now on Instagram, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Just want to say hello, hello, hello. And oh man, Texas, it really hurts. Like, when a news flash yesterday, I was just like, WTF? Like, what is going on? Why now? Why again? Why can't we fix this problem? Why can't we protect our kids, protect our teachers? Why? Hey Freda, how you doing? Why? Is all I can ask. It is truly tragic. Well, it is hard to believe that we are back here again with this situation in Texas. I mean, like, another mass shooting. It makes you sick to your stomach, and it's like, what can be done, right? What can be done? What needs to be done? And when you think about um, the active shooter situation, it's real. I mean, obviously, it happened again, but based on the news, the police were there. They were on scene, and they were able to respond. But man, like, there has to be something to deal with these lunatics getting their hands on guns. There has to be something. And here we go, coming back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to WVOX, a Whitney Global Media station. My name is Rich Thomas, a former mayor of Mount Vernon. You're listening to What Happened Here. And every Wednesday at noon, we are on WVOX 1460 on your AM dial, or worldwide at WVOX.com, with What Happened Here, where we ask the question, as we just did, what happened here with. And today we're asking the question, what happened with Memorial Day? What can we do to make sure that we pay honor and respect to those that gave their lives to ensure that our freedom remains free, and we ensure that Memorial Day becomes more than what people have commercialized it to become, just about barbecues and vacations. So we want to ensure that everyone out there actively not only listens, but they do something this Memorial Day, do something that is, beyond your individual needs. It's time to pay tribute to those that deserve our time and our respect. And with us today is our guest, Lisa Hallett. She's here discussing movement that she created called Wear Blue Run to Remember. And before we went to break, Lisa was telling us about how her husband inspired this because her husband served in the military, and she was at the point of talking about when he was first deployed and how he, to shaming all the men out there, was left behind hidden love notes like the Notebook. I mean, like talk about a tearjerker. He left behind these love notes throughout the house so that she could find them in the most unexpected times and moments to reassure and remind her that he loved her. And that's something that, you know, men, you need to do more of. I'm going to exclude myself from that because I always do stuff like that. Hopefully, my wife's not listening. But Lisa, if you can just take us now to John's time in Afghanistan, and if you can just share with us, you know, what led to the Wear Blue run, your action to turn your pain into purpose. Can you share with us, that sequence?
Of course, thanks, Reg. So, John came back from Kirkuk, Iraq after 15 months overseas at the beginning of the conflict, and we were blessed with two children, two boys. And then in November of 2008, John took command of an infantry striker company, found out we were going to have another baby. And then that following summer, as a part of that surge to Afghanistan, John deployed with his brigade to Kandahar, Afghanistan. And really, it's the first time that American forces had been in that region. So John left in July, and then, as we do in the Army, 3 weeks after John left, our daughter Heidi was born. And then 3 weeks after that, I headed to my first, family meeting at the deployment. And I remember, the boys were with a babysitter, and Heidi was with me. She was only 3 weeks old.
Mm.
This was in her little bucket car seat. And once I sat down and spread out my papers, the rear detachment commander actually was me on that meeting. And it was Frankie, actually, one of John's soldiers, First Lieutenant Frankie Kidd, and he was the rear detachment commander in charge of all the families that he will during that deployment. And he took me and baby Heidi to the battalion classroom, and there were two gentlemen waiting for me there. And I remember the gentleman on the right had a script, and he read it to me, and it says, "The Secretary of Defense regrets to inform you that your husband, Captain John L. Hallett, is believed to have perished in the fires." And I stopped listening. I had a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and this brand new baby who my husband had never met. They had to be wrong,
Right.
but they weren't wrong. John was killed on August 25th, 2009. The 3 other soldiers on their way home from a goodwill mission, and they just delivered medicine to a village with a cholera outbreak. And for our unit, our brigade of about 3,000 soldiers, it would become a deployment that would claim 55 lives. That was 31 to combat in Afghanistan, and 14 more here on the home soil, the invisible wounds that would never heal.
Mm.
They're cranky.
Mm.
And we were just reeling, from those losses sustained. And for me personally, I've got 2 babies in diapers, 3 kids who are going to grow up without their father. And I lost my best friend. And so I turned to the coping mechanism that I leaned on throughout John's military career. And that was running. It was this tangible accomplishment in this world that felt so beyond my control at that point. And I slowly realized that as I was running from the pain of life at the end of my family, I was running to hope and confidence for the future. That was powerful. And these spouses, navigating their own losses, their own fears, their own complications of a tragic deployment, began to join my steps. And I remember that first time we met in the Burger King parking lot on base. We kind of looked at each other, and then we went for a run.
Mm.
And then we came back the next week, and we became friends. We became a community, and eventually we became Wear Blue Run to Remember.
That is exactly like a Disney movie. I mean, like I First, again, my condolences and my thanks for your husband's service to, again, keep us in a safe position. And to hear you, take that trauma, take that pain, and as you pointed out, run from some of these things. The Wear Blue Run to Remember became running toward, making sure that the life and legacy, the history, the traditions, that those that sacrificed their lives, those that gave everything, are not forgotten. And as you became Wear Blue Run to Remember, how did the stories come about? How did you catalog or capture these stories to share with people as they go to your website to register? But before we answer that question, we have to take another commercial break. Do not change that dial. You're listening to What Happened Here on WVOX. All right, everybody, we live. It's a heavy show, as you can hear. So just hang in there. We'll be right back from commercial break.
World and national news. Here is the latest update from Fox News Radio on 1460 WVOX. Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Our country is sickened and outraged by the senseless evil that struck Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell addressing the death of 19 children and 2 teachers in a school shooting. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calling out Republican opposition to gun control legislation.
Too many members on that side care more about the NRA than they do about families who grieve victims of gun violence.
Everyone killed was in one classroom. Gunman was shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent. Government report finds British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and other senior officials are responsible for rule-breaking parties during coronavirus lockdowns.
I take full responsibility for everything that took place on my watch.
Parties began resisting calls from opponents in Parliament to resign. America's listening to Fox News.
And now with your latest up-to-date forecast, here's Steve Pelletieri's Eye on Weather on 1460 WVOX.
Forecast Westchester County and the vicinity for today was mostly sunny skies. Into the afternoon, our high temperatures will climb to around 72. Partly cloudy this evening, overnight lows falling back into the lower 50s. Mixture of clouds and sunshine as we head towards Thursday. Thursday's high temperatures to around 70. Slight chance of showers early Friday, then becoming more likely in the afternoon with the thunderstorm highs climbing into the upper 70s. Chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, otherwise partly in the upper 70s to near 80. It's sunny 77 on Sunday. See Pelletieri, June Reporting, 1460 WVOX, a Whitney Global Media Station.
Everything you need to get started in the morning.
Every morning.
Good morning, Westchester, with Dennis and Tom. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9. Right here on 1460 WVOX.
1460 WVOX.
And now back to What Happened Here with Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon, on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to WVOX at Whitney Global Media Station. My name is Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon. You're listening to What Happened Here, where we ask a question every week, every Wednesday at noon until 1 p.m. on 1460 on your AM dial or worldwide at WVOX.com. Today we're asking the question of what happened here with Memorial Day. What can we do to make sure that we remember and we celebrate the life and legacy of those that gave everything to make sure our freedom and our liberty remains free? Our guest today is Lisa Hallett. She created a movement called wearblueruntoremember.org. You can take a look at the website wearblueruntoremember.org. And if you register, and it's free to register, you can make a commitment to run 1 mile, 2 miles, or 24 miles. And in exchange, you get to hear about a story of a loved one, someone lost that gave their life to make sure that our lives could be better, someone that we may never hear about or learn about. And before we went to break, I asked Lisa to tell us about that catalog. How did she capture so many stories of individuals that gave so much to keep us focused on pursuing life, liberty, and happiness here in America? Lisa?
Hey, Rich, I appreciate it. Listen, my husband John was captain number 5,000 in the global war on terror. And to be honest, it was a number that made me mad because my husband's not a number.
Mm.
The guy who's teaching his 3-year-old how to play baseball, who's deep to the pool when he plays water polo, loves me unconditionally. And the same is true for the 7,051 Americans who gave their lives in September 11th for the tornado, for the 65,000 men and women who give their lives in the first days of the Vietnam War. And to, in Wear Blue programming from our youth mentorship program, prepare children small military with military mentors, to our living memorials that we build at races across the country. It is our goal to bring and safely the names and stories of these men and women to life. Over the years, thousands of Americans, and we've been privileged to meet their families. And so this Memorial Day is inspiration of all of those heroes you've met, and the heroes they left behind, if you will, to create this platform to bring Americans in this remembrance with us. And so we work with Honor the Fallen and different kind of websites that tell the stories of our service members. And we have that conduit. We pair it with an image of one of these heroes. And there's individuals, just like you said, commit to remember with us and move to become a living memorial. It's no cost effort. We provide a short email that has the name, their stories, their rank, where they made the sacrifice, and their image. And so that Memorial Day becomes personal. And that Americans across the country are able to live inspired by the life of a hero and to truly become responsible for their legacy as they move forward. And so we are honored to be the space where Americans can turn the word thank you for your service, tangible, meaningful action.
And so, and I'm wearing blue, by the way, today. I'm wearing a light blue shirt, and I got my blue glasses to set off, for everybody watching, to make sure I'm wearing blue, and I'm gonna wear blue on Memorial Day. I'm gonna commit to run. So I want everybody to, get their hero. Go to wearblueruntoremember.org and sign up, commit to however many miles or how far you can go, but make sure you get that story and you share that story on social media. You tag the organization, and make sure that you add more purpose to Memorial Day this year. There's no excuse, especially knowing that so many families that you may never hear of or never met have been carrying this burden, and think about how grateful and they will be to know that you were able to remember their loved one and celebrate their life and legacy. And can you tell us about, where Blue Run to Remember.org is happening? I've noticed that on your website you have a place where people can organize events. Can you share with us a little bit about, where things are happening across the land?
Of course, I sure appreciate that. Perfectly said there. But with your personal staff, you don't have to be a runner, sort of. You can walk, you can hop around the block, make it personal and a personal challenge. And you can do it virtually, you can simply in your neighborhood, but we also have events across the country where people can run, walk, move to remember. And so we'll be in upstate New York, we'll be in DuPont, Washington, and Springfield, Virginia. And, also over on the island of Oahu, great state of Hawaii.
Wow.
We are country, and if there isn't communities in your neighborhood and you want to become a nexus for purposeful remembrance and community gathering, please visit weirdbluecountry.org. Let us know, and we'd love to highlight your community as a safe potential remembrance in this.
And can you tell us about the first place? The first place this happened was on base. Can you just tell us, take us through, the sequence? You started this as a run. You turned the pain and into purpose, and you took that passion in your group, the group of military wives that were running together. That came back to that Burger King parking lot on base. You formed Wear Blue Run to Remember. What was that organization, that capacity building? How did that happen?
Right, no, a great question. And, it started, not because we're trying to be a global not-for-profit, but because we have urban need.
And mm-hmm. No, 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 no. I'm listening to you.
And honestly, we're big enough to say thank you for so sorry for your sacrifices. But we realized that these weekly gatherings, by showing up for one another with our physical presence, we didn't have to have right words,
Mm.
but to let standing shoulder to shoulder, our presence becomes a mark of how we heal, how we remember it, and how we reintegrated as families and as a community during very difficult deployment.
Y- y-
And,
You know what's so amazing is something so big started so small, and that seems to be the theme here. It's like such a big life changing moment. Um, the way you turn this around started with a small step forward, and that became, from a walk to a run, and now we have the call lines lighting up. Lisa, we have a caller that's calling in. Do you mind taking the call?
Yeah,
Yep.
can you hear me?
Yes, caller. Thank you for joining.
POX, and words kind of seem to fall short for what needs to be expressed to Lisa. I'm a 9/11 family member. My brother was killed on September 11th, New York City police officer.
Mm.
And the last 20 years, I want to tell Lisa that I owe her, my family, and the 9/11 community, owe her a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. There is a relationship between the 9/11 family, the people that have died of post 9/11 illness, all of the victims from the Trade Center, from Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and also from the Pentagon, and that ordinary people like myself, are scripted into something here. And it sounds like Lisa, now with 3 children, doing what she can to keep her husband's memory alive. I do owe her a thank you, and it just seems so lame just to say thank you. But Lisa, I want you to know that the 9/11 community does feel for you, feels your loss, and the Memorial Day where I am special, and I'm a part of the American Legion here on City Island, and we have a parade, and no one's going to forget your husband. I can tell you that. I'll never forget it.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
No, no, no. We appreciate that.
Lisa, I tell everybody that everyone has a role to play in this, and I get conscripted into this, you got conscripted into this, I'm involved with the trial in Guantanamo, I'm involved with the 9/11 community, and involved with the lawsuits against Iran, the Taliban, and also the Saudis, and truth is stranger than fiction, and that you don't have to bear this burden alone, that we are all behind you, and like I said, we owe you and the military people a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid, so thanks so much.
well, Dan, we're knit together. 9/11 absolutely knit our families together, and I'll carry your brother this Memorial Day as well. And I appreciate your gratitude, and I see that for John, and I'm so grateful that we belong together to a truly grateful nation, and that we are one national community, and I really feel that today. So thank you.
We are. Thank you, Lisa. I won't take up any more time. Richard, I enjoy the show, and I also do love WVOX. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You got it. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for sharing. And debt of gratitude to Dan's brother being a police officer, responded to 9/11. You know, I lived a few blocks away on Lafayette off of Franklin, right below Canal Street. I was going to NYU at the time. And I actually had a job working in the Tower 1, 86th floor. I was supposed to be working that day as an intern for the May Davis Group, a financial engineering firm. But thankfully, God had a different plan, and I was supposed to, I worked a different day, but unfortunately, it happened. But we'll talk more about that when we come back from break. Don't change that dial. Listen to WVOX. Yeah, 9/11 is a heavy topic, everybody. I can tell you, it is extreme, 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 extreme how 9/11 just has conscripted us, as Dan and Lisa have lost so much from such evil, and we're still dealing with evil in Texas, and we're learning about. Oh man, it's just terrible. I'm just looking at going back to Columbine, and you just keep going all the way forward to Sandy Hook, and now we're looking at Uvalde. It's horrific. And this Memorial Day, we're asking everybody to wear blue. Wear blue. I'm wearing blue today to signal to you that I'll be wearing blue on Memorial Day. Wear blue, run to remember.org. So make sure you register and sign up and be a part of something bigger than be a part of something bigger. That's all I can say. And thank you all for watching and sharing. And ask you guys to share the feed. Encourage people to go to wear blue, run to remember.org. I'm gonna type it in here. I'm trying to pin it so that you all can see it on IG. And let's go to www.wearblue.org. Run to remember. Why? This autocorrect stuff really gets me. It's like it automatically starts correcting, and you don't need it to autocorrect. I guess there has to be something to turn that off. Oh, come on, buddy.
Most important issues facing Americans today. Every Tuesday, join me, Brett Baer, Chief Political Editor.
Here we go. We're blue. Run to remember. .org. Here we go. Blue Run. Yep, got it.
Podcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
All right. So we got it there. Any questions you guys want to call in, feel free. The phone number to call in is 914-636-0110. Again, it's 914-636-0110 if you want to call in. That was a caller from nearby, a friend of VOX, someone that is active in the 9/11 community. Called in and expressed their thanks to Lisa for starting this movement, and I hope you join the movement. We're coming back from break right now, so let's here we go.
With Dumpus, the former mayor of Mount Vernon, on 1460 WVOX.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to WVOX at Whitney Global Media Station. My name is Rich Thomas, the former mayor of Mount Vernon. The name of our show is What Happened Here? And today we're asking the question of what happened here with Memorial Day? What happened with, what we can do to make sure we don't forget and we always remember the life and legacy of a person, a hero that gave their life so that our freedom can stay free and our liberty can be defended from terror. With us today, our guest here on 1460 on your AM dial and worldwide on WVOX.com is Lisa Hallett. Lisa Hallett created a movement, Wear Blue Run to Remember, a movement for people to wear blue on Memorial Day, but also run or walk around the block so that they can have an intentional purpose of celebrating and honoring those that gave all to ensure that we can have a shot at life here in America free from terror. And she is telling us and sharing with us over the course of the show how it started. We talked about her husband, John, who gave his life. And she said, you know, I don't want him to just be a number. That's insensitive. It's not who he was. And, you know, obviously he was an extraordinary romantic. All husbands can definitely learn from that. Maybe, guys, when you do wear blue, run to remember.org, you should add the love notes to your spouse or your loved one, and make sure that you send a prayer up to John, thanking him for that idea. But as we get ready to round out and wrap up the show, if you do want to call in, we had a caller before, share his thanks to Lisa. I invite you to do the same. It's 914-636-0110. Again, it's 914-636-0110. And Lisa, as we approach Memorial Day and Wear Blue Run to Remember.org, can you talk to us about why Memorial Day? I know that a lot of people have commercialized Memorial Day. What made you and this movement say, you know what, we're taking back Memorial Day? Can you tell us about that?
Somebody visited that on our service number, and our veterans, and Memorial Day, they have here the courage and the sacrifice that men extended to give their lives for our country. It is the focus of the nation. And this really has to be right option.
Hmm.
Inspired by the example of those that do better, work harder, harder. And I think at the end of the day, we really hard for formation. And I know for service members, our veterans, and their families, they're trying to stay with their lives, that they still think about the men and women they lost in battle, the friends they lost on the way. And so we see Memorial Day as this chance for us, this nation, part of this power. And it's really a positive for the people to remember the part of the community. And it's really scary. The light of the light of their lives, in how we live our own.
So, and I hear how, and I know this is hard, and you shared the story of John. Is there another story that you can share with our listeners online and on the airwaves? Another story of someone that Wear Blue Run to Remember also celebrates?
And I think quite often about one young girl, and he was young service member who passed away in service to our country, Jewish actor, 19 years old. And his mama, Lorena, and his father was actually with lives inspired by a example and the purpose and kindness and love of country and extend here to others. Or think about Abraham Palmer and Critical Scottish and Palmer Cluster, like 9 children.
Wow.
There's 9 children on our youth mentorship program. And every Saturday morning they come to their blue community. And rather than broken by their father's sacrifice, they live lives inspired by the strength and courage and love of country. And they're also supported by mentors so much for their lives. And to think as much as we honor and courage and praise of our fallen service members, and Memorial Day that we celebrate of the family here in that sacrifice. And it will be like a number of will honor, these people in their own lives and them remembering their loved ones.
Can you tell people, share your website and the types of programs that you do and how they can support your efforts and your programs?
Yes, they are, now, long-term number, Dr. Larkin. He's been doing our Memorial Day effort, get to hear about it, all of it. But, our work from Color Families to Fallen, the considered veterans, number of small UA, this kind of the generosity of our community supporters. It's been doing it because to give or looking at the other military families. I think that that it's the point where we must remember. And in this, one part of the field, and this program for children of fallen military, build healthy coping mechanisms to navigate their own cycles of grief that is not inspired. Which is teaching the fallen when they're first to their honor of their loved ones, you experience the things that they're learning to stand on their own, but not in alone. And we also touch in the service members on the way back to their first deployment experience. But we provide mentorship, during the break, and in the break, that you really appreciate the color and how they are going to have their life service, the part of the community, with helping them so we back that up. And then there's still looking beyond what we do, it's not a day back. Thoughtful. And the very that I'm still remembering, great, right, we're talking about.
Everybody, you've been listening to Lisa Hallett. She just summarized, the mission and the objective of why Wear Blue Run to Remember is an essential component of making sure that it doesn't just stop with the statistics that are collected. It keeps going, and the life and legacy, the support for the families that have to raise their families without their loved one, the loved one that had the courage and the bravery to go and sacrifice themselves to ensure that we here in America can stay free and have our liberty defended. This is an extraordinary breakthrough organization that takes, the breaking points and makes sure that, you don't get broken. You break through. And having these mentorship programs, the engagement to help young people navigate the world post the loss, such an extraordinary burden to carry, is an extraordinary program to help shoulder that pain and make sure that the respect and honor is given to those that have taken that step forward to ensure that our freedoms stay free. And so everybody, wearblueruntoremember.org. This Memorial Day, want to light up social media. I want you to find your match, find your hero, find that story to share. Teach your young ones, but also, teach your neighbors, teach your friends about why it's important to not only thank a veteran, but also thank their family. There are people out there like Lisa and Dan who called earlier, who were conscripted into this situation of being drawn into this war on terror, and it's up to us to make sure that we take back the memories, we take back our ability to not only remember those loved ones, but to celebrate their life. Don't let them be gone in vain, because that happens too often and too much. And I want to give a shout out to one of our local assemblymen, Lisa. His name is Assemblyman Sayej. He put forward a bill in Albany, here in New York, the capital, where he's asking that companies and organizations below Canal Street notify everyone of their eligibility for health benefits, given the toxins that were in the air, And these are things that people go on in life and forget. 20 years later, it's like all of a sudden you're sick from a type of cancer or illness that's related to 9/11, and you forget that you were down there or you worked down there, lived down there. So I want to just give a big shout out to Assemblyman Saez for his, foresight in trying to make sure that people don't forget of their options and their opportunities to access health care because of 9/11. But in the final moments of the show, is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to cover? Any one thing that you want to share?
Come together and Memorial Day, and I am so grateful that your community listeners remembers with my family, so thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, everybody, wearblueruntoremember.org. Go register now. It's free, and we look forward to seeing you on social media. Share your story. That's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, your family, for their sacrifice. And definitely thank you, John Hallett, such a brave captain who went to fight for our freedom. God bless you, and God bless your family. God bless America. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Wear blue, run to remember. All right, everybody, that's our show. And thank you to Lisa for sharing such a powerful movement, powerful story. I hope everybody takes the step and registers at wearblueruntoremember.org and joins me and joins Lisa and the whole movement to never forget. God bless. Have a great Memorial Day. I'll see you next week, Wednesday, right here on